Hello, and welcome to your energetic guidance reading for the week of July 11th to 17th. For those of you who are new to my channel, please feel free to hit the subscribe button and the little notification bell just to make sure that you don't miss out on any of my readings. I put one out every week and one at the beginning of each month for a deeper dive into that month's energy. That one flew out of the deck. And so what's going to be first? All right. So this week is starting with a very the word insistent is coming into my head. A very insistent pull to look at the divine feminine. So this card here is Cosmic Womb, and it symbolizes the divine feminine. I don't know if you can see exactly what's in the picture here, but it looks like a shell where the purpose of a shell for any animal that lives in a shell is one, safety and protection, which is also what a womb provides, is safety and protection. But it's also a place for you to grow. And when we are in a phase of growth, or when we are opening to the energy of the feminine, what we are opening ourselves up to is rest, rejuvenation, a recharging of our energy so that we can then go back out and into the masculine energy of doing. So the energy of the feminine is receiving, and that is what this week is going to bring a lot of, is just receiving energy, receiving like a refuel or a refilling. We spent a lot of June doing a lot of that methodical action steps of moving forward. We spent last week with a lot of doing, and now we're being asked to just sit and recharge in feminine energy. So this is going to look like a lot less doing, if any at all. We'll see what the rest of the cards have to say just in addition to that, but that is the first card, and that's the one that flipped over and fell out of the deck. So it usually means that it's the most important information to be received from the reading. So just keep that in mind. So right alongside with the cosmic womb is the first breath. So beginner's mind. For beginner's mind, and with the beginning of a new cycle, we knew coming into July that we were starting a new cycle. We got the Fool card at the end of June, and that means starting a new cycle. So anytime you achieve a new level or you arrive at the beginning of a new cycle, you have to understand that you are learning that it's a new thing. It's an unknown area for you. It's a space that you've never been in before. You don't know how the rules work. You don't know what is waiting for you on this level. And this goes right along with the divine feminine energy. You just need to be open to receiving all of the information that you need in order to move through this new level, in order to move through this new cycle. Beginner's mind, also for those of you who read a lot of tarot cards, is usually implied by the pages of the deck, and that's where you just understand that you basically know nothing and you become a student again. So it's like that. I think I may have said this before, but it's like that first day of class feeling where you enter the class. You don't think you know more than the teacher. You don't think that you know more than the people who are taking this class. Everything's brand new. You have fresh notebooks. There's nothing written in them. You have fresh pens. You're ready to go. You are ready to just sit in this new class and just absorb the information as it's given to you. And that's the same energy of this week that's coming in with the receptive energy of the feminine. Okay, so these both speak of just receiving what you're meant to receive. And the last card is Watchers, and the word here is transpersonal, and this just solidifies exactly what you're supposed to be doing this week, which is a whole lot of nothing. It's nothing, but it's not nothing at the same time. You're not supposed to be physically doing anything. You're not supposed to be doing a lot of action steps. You're not supposed to be doing a lot of forward movement. What you are supposed to be doing is staying open and receptive, knowing that you are going to be given the information that you need in order to move through this next cycle or this next level. And you're supposed to be observing your surroundings. And that's what this card asks you to do. So while you're resting and being open and receptive to what's coming in, the idea is not to go to sleep, if that makes sense. This does not count for naps, okay? Naps are okay. But in terms of when you are awake, this card asks you to be fully present and fully aware of everything that's happening around you. So you are consciously observing. You are consciously opening your mind to different perspectives, to new information, to new ways of being. And with the last week's reading where we cleared out a lot of things that no longer serve, that leaves, anytime you clear out anything, like if you think of a closet that's full of clothes, okay, it's so full of clothes that you can't put anything in anymore. So last week, what we did and what the universe helped us do, what we co-created, was pulling out all of the clothes that you no longer wear. All of the things that they don't fit anymore. Maybe they're dirty or grubby. They just don't serve a purpose anymore. And they're mostly just taking up space in your closet, okay? So with your mind last week, or with your behaviors, with your thought processes, with stories that were coming in, potentially with people in your life, whatever the case was that you decluttered, you were pulling out all of the pieces of clothes that you no longer need. They no longer serve you. When you do that, you open up space that is available to be filled, and the universe does not operate in a void. If you create space, that space will be filled by something. If you create time in your schedule where you don't have anything to do, you're going to fill that time with something. That's just how it works. So with this week, what's going to happen is you're going to be observing and watching for the new things coming in that are going to fill in the spaces of what you cleared and made room for last week. Okay, so that is the theme of this week. It's a lot of passive energy, but not unconscious energy. Okay, so keep that in mind. And we have a lot of action steps this week. Often lately, I've been only pulling 2 cards, and we had 4 that wanted to come out. So we're going to see what those say and then go from there. So the first action step of this week is rainbow blessings. So blessings are showering your life. And this card, you're at the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. That's what you're finding here. This card comes in and brings in a lot of abundance. So alongside the opening and being willing to receive, One of the reasons that you're doing that is because abundance is coming in. And if you're not open and willing to receive, you aren't going to get the abundance. But it's not even that you're not going to get the abundance, you're not going to be aware that you're receiving abundance. So this may speak to being closed to the abundance that's coming in, and so you don't receive it that way. But this may also speak to you not even being aware of the abundance coming in, so you don't think that you're receiving abundance. And remember that abundance comes in many forms. So it comes in the form of energy, it could come in the form of like physical, receiving like physical abundance, money, gifts, that sort of thing. But it could also look like receiving compliments, receiving like gratitude for the work that you've been doing, gratitude for the energy that you've been putting out, gratitude for the attention and the support that you've been giving out to other people. So look for abundance in all of the ways, not just in like the physical thing way. Along with that is enjoying the journey. And this actually coincides perfectly with these cards, with these two cards, because we're being open and receptive, because we're realizing that we are at the beginning of a new journey and we are a beginner at this particular level or in this particular cycle. We're going back to beginner's mind where we know we don't know anything. One of the action steps for you this week is to literally just be present and enjoy the journey, okay? So you are noticing the things that are abundant and coming in the form of blessings for you. And you're also just taking time to really enjoy beginner's mind and really enjoy being like that brand new student and just seeing where the universe is going to take you this week. So this card, and this comes in with the beginner's mind and with observing, is simplify your life. And so we've already started doing this. This is this is literally the bin of shit that you just got rid of last week. Your job is to walk away from it. So often when we move through like a decluttering phase, I know that I have had a hard time with this in the past, and I know a lot of people have a hard time with this as well, is that instead of like getting rid of this stuff completely, you're like, oh, well, I'll just keep it in storage because what if I need it? What if I need this 1970s one-piece snowsuit because I randomly go to a costume party one day that's 70s themed, that's 70s winter themed. So maybe I'm going to need it for that, okay? Throw out the snowsuit, dudes. That's what you need to be doing right now, is throwing out the snowsuit and walking away from it. You can donate it. Maybe somebody else can have use for that. But like all of the things that you got rid of last week need to actually be gotten rid of. And that's part of simplifying your life. That's part of understanding that you are at a new level and that new level is going to require different things to be successful in that new level. So whatever it is that you have decluttered, be it physical stuff, mental, like the stories in your head, behaviors, ways of communicating with people, relationships, whatever it is that you have chosen to, or that you have been intuitively guided to release, fully release them. Don't keep them in a storage box in your attic so that one day all of a sudden you look around and you're surrounded by all of this crap that you don't need. Simplify your life, get rid of it. This will also allow you to be in that observational place where you can see how these things affect you or how these things affected you. And you'll also be able to witness how the new things coming in are affecting you differently. And the last action step for this week is answering the call, and that being the time is now. So we are already aware that we are moving into a new area. Everything about this read speaks to a new level, speaks to a new cycle, to a new journey. We have this brand new journey. We're starting at the very beginning of this. We got our map, we got our compass, we're at the beginning of the path, we see where we're going. All of this speaks to moving forward into a new phase of our lives. And this is just saying the time is now. So all of these, like if you basically picture this guy walking into a new card, he leaves everything behind, or she leaves everything behind, and then walks in and sees this gate. It's like right up ahead here, just in this little shaded area, and walks through this gate. And once that door is closed, these things, you no longer have access to these things. And if you want to make this shift, if you want to continue evolving and continue moving through and having the transformation that we've been headed towards through May and June, this is the transformation. So the time for that transformation, the time to get rid of this stuff is now. And so it's literally just a matter of allowing yourself to release it and then just watching what happens as you do that, and watching how the changes that maybe don't feel like they're big to you, how monumental they are over the course of the next week and over the different areas of your life, just observing them and watching how it impacts everything. So this is a pretty exciting week, even though it started out feeling like maybe you weren't going to be doing much. There's a lot of internal, impacting the external, if that makes sense. So there's a lot of you observing how your new way of being is impacting your external world and all the blessings that are coming in with that. So enjoy.